Is it true that Serena van der Woodsen was the ultimate pick-me girl on Gossip Girl? Many would argue that she was the definition of a pick-me girl based on her actions and behaviors. Serena could never decenter men from her life, and that was often the cause of her many downfalls. Women who learn how to decenter men are destined to live far more fulfilling lives, but that's just not something Serena ever experienced on the show. Here are 10 examples of times Serena proved that she was a full-on pick-me. When she took Nate's virginity while he was dating Blair. Serena threw girl code out the window when she hooked up with Nate at the Shepherd wedding. This hookup was more serious than pretty much any of her other hookups, since she knowingly took Nate's virginity, even though she knew he'd previously promised to save his virginity for Blair. Blair was supposed to be Serena's best friend. Blair and Nate had a fairy tale style relationship since they had been dating each other since childhood. But Serena waltzed in and destroyed all of that because she was feeling drunk and frisky. When Serena was okay with stealing Gabriel from Poppy. One of the most shady things Serena did was striking up a romantic relationship with Gabriel Edwards, knowing that he willingly ditched his relationship with Poppy Lifton to be with Serena. Hindsight is 20/20, and viewers quickly found out that Gabriel and Poppy were setting Serena up in a scandalous plot. But the truth of the matter is that Serena didn't know she was being set up. All Serena knew was that she was on vacation with her friend Poppy and Poppy's boyfriend, Gabriel. Gabriel should have automatically been off limits to Serena, but she still dabbled with the idea of hooking up with him behind Poppy's back. Later, Gabriel and Poppy's plan to swindle wealthy Upper East Siders was exposed, but Serena still proved that she was willing to screw Poppy over by getting with Gabriel. Not a girl's girl move. When Serena sabotaged Lola because she felt jealous of Lola's it girl potential. Serena thought she wanted Lola to be the new it girl so people would get off her back and leave her alone. But as soon as Lola started getting attention, it made Serena feel super insecure. Serena pulled the fire alarm to send Lola out in front of paparazzi while wearing nothing but lingerie. But then she posted a scathing Gossip Girl blast to sabotage Lola's audition not long after. In the blast, Serena told everyone that Lola was a diva wannabe actress, even though that couldn't have been further from the truth. When Serena started an affair with Tripp Vanderbilt while he was married, she definitely wasn't decentering men. She knew she shouldn't have been getting involved with him, but she repeatedly kept saying that she just couldn't help herself. Girls who are willing to get involved with married men are the most desperate, pathetic, and insecure human beings alive. Serena proved that she was truly a pick-me because she wanted to be picked so badly that she disregarded Tripp's legal commitment to his wife Maureen. When Serena took on the Gossip Girl persona, she understood what it felt like to be truly powerful. That whole arc showcased her pick-me energy because she got hooked on the power of bashing other people. Serena didn't want to stop filling in the role of Gossip Girl when it was time for her to give it up. She found pleasure in spreading rumors about other people since it made her feel like she was totally in charge. Serena's stint as Gossip Girl was tough to watch because she was definitely coming across as an addict who was drunk on the power of manipulation. When Serena tried to seduce Ben Donovan while she was underage, she was the ultimate pick-me. She knew he was an adult, and she knew that he'd get in trouble if he gave in to temptation, but she still did her best to push the boundaries anyway. Serena knew very well what was at stake for Ben, but that didn't slow her down or stop her from trying to get in his pants. Serena's seduction plan might have failed, but he still ended up behind bars after Serena's mother accused him of statutory SA. The drama was toxic, and none of it would have existed if Serena hadn't been so desperate to get picked by Ben when she was 16. When Serena offered to pay off Carter Bazin's debts, it was a move that raised quite a few eyebrows. Serena had no business offering to pay off Carter's debts to the Buckley family, especially after hearing about what he did to accrue such disgusting debts. Serena proved she was the ultimate pick-me when she went out of her way to fight for Carter's freedom, knowing full well that he deserved to face the music based on the despicable things he did to an innocent woman named Beth. He convinced Beth to marry him so the Buckley family would pay off his gambling debts, and then he abandoned Beth at the altar. The fact that Serena was still willing to cry over Carter after learning those details was pretty pathetic. When Serena kept dating Stephen Spence despite his sexual history with Lily and his bratty daughter, Serena was desperate to continue being picked by Stephen, even though he most certainly wasn't a great match for her. She found out he had a sexual history with her mother, but that wasn't enough for her to call it quits in the relationship. Serena also had to face off against Stephen's stressful teenage daughter, Sage, and that still wasn't enough to turn Serena off from the relationship. Deep down, she must have known she could do better than Stephen, but she kept sticking around and dragging it out. when she tried to record herself hooking up with Dan to piss Blair off. Serena was feeling insecure knowing that Dan had genuine feelings for Blair, so she went into pick-me mode to try and butcher that. She secretly tried to film herself hooking up with Dan so she could make Blair jealous. Dan's feelings for Blair were genuine since he knew who Blair was authentically as a human being. His feelings for Serena never felt as genuine since he idolized Serena and didn't really love her for who she was at her core. Serena must have known that because she was willing to do such a sleazy thing to try to edge Blair out of the picture so she could regain Dan's interest. When she married Dan Humphrey. Ultimately, Serena's decision to tie the knot with Dan was proof that she was never capable of decentering men, nor was she capable of leaving her pick-me energy in the dust. She knew Dan had been masquerading as Gossip Girl the entire time he was in her life, but that wasn't enough to encourage her to break up with him or to file a restraining order at the very least. Serena ended up marrying the guy who stalked her and posted horrendous rumors about her on the internet for the world to see, which is a true sign of how little she respected herself. Serena's lack of self-love was the biggest indication of her pick-me vibes. What do you think of all these signs that Serena was a pick-me girl who was incapable of decentering men on Gossip Girl? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below.